Hey Barney's Guitar Musos. Here's how I would go about memorizing a song. And of course you can just play along with a recording a million times. That's one way to do it. That's great. But here's a way that I've found cuts down some of the time of doing that by giving you a structure to memorize things within. I grab the original chart. Here's All Glory Be to Christ. And I'm going to work out in sections what chords are where. So I write just super quickly. It's going to be a rough one, but what we're trying to do is work things out about how to understand it into lots of 8-bar sections. So we look at the chart. See if I can get this so you can see it there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bars. It's got as the intro. Okay. Intro, put sections in a box, C to G to A minor to F, C, G, F, and then 2 bars of C. So what I'm going to do is put, like into a double bar, it's a repeat sign. Whoop, you can't even see that. See, I've just written it in like that. And up here, I added a bar in there because I want to start the new section, the verse, at the start of a line. That's just, and I can see already here, instead of it being 8 bars, I can tell it's got a 9th bar, and that's really obvious to me, and I'm gonna have to remember that when the band's playing. Okay, back to the chart here. We look, you see all that? Yes. Okay, so you go verse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then somebody, probably me, has drawn in a double bar line there to help us know where there's a section, because when you don't have them starting and stopping at the end of a line, that can be really helpful. So C, G, A minor, F, C, G, F, C. Well, that's the same as the intro, so that's helpful to note as well. Then it goes the second half, C, G, A minor, F, C, G, F, C. Oh wow, same deal again. Okay, so you can see that bars 1 to 8 of the verse is then repeated by 1 to 8. So that's helpful to know. Chorus, why they've drawn that there, who would know? But here's another helpful thing in there. It's another chorus is coming in here. So again, we've set up our 8 bars so that we can, 4 bars a line, we can sense where things are. Can you see me doing that? Yes, you can. Okay, chorus. C, G, A minor, F, C, G, A minor, F, and then 2 bars of C. Okay, so we're going to go C. That's the first time. The second time, there's a second time bar there. So can actually see that the first time bar and the second time bar, the first bar of those is exactly the same, that bar and that bar. So I'm just going to actually think what I might do is put a 1 there and effectively a 2 there, because I think that's the same thing. So we get a bar of, on our chart, we've got chorus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it's a 9th bar each time. So we're going to go there with, how am I doing this? Hang on. Yeah, we might bunch things up a little bit more. This is why you do it in pencil, because you can make these changes on the fly. C, and then a 9th bar for the first time. It's a repeat there. That's again of C. Second time we come through, that's that same C bar there. So we'll have second time bar here will be an A7. And we know from previous playing of it that this little arrow thing is generally meant we play the A7 right at the start of the bar. That's how we've been doing it. Chorus, verse 3. So that repeat here will send you back to verse 2, as does this here. Got to make sure that's in there. I didn't have a, there you go. That's going to be important. Verse 3, there's the modulation. We've got a D, we've got an A, B minor G, D, A, G, D. End of a section. Bar 46, we've got another D, an A B minor and a G. What a surprise. D, A, G, D. Same, and then they've got a chorus. Here's the bar lines to help us fill that in. We've got D, A, B minor, G, D, A, G, D. Now, final double bar line there with a big fat one on the second part of it. Can you see that? Yeah, that's it. Now, that's the chart that we have. If you'll start doing some analysis here, you can see it all on one page. You can see that this, like I said, there's an intro there. It's got 9 bars in it, but the 8 bars is exactly the same as that 8 bars, which is the same as that 8 bars. You'll also notice that the chorus is, frankly, the first 8 bars are exactly the same, and then it's just got an extra bar like it does for the intro. When you come through the second chorus, it's going to do the modulation, so it goes, that's different, fair enough. Then into the verse, that verse is the same as that part of that verse, and then there's a chorus, and we'll do several choruses probably at the end. That hopefully stops it looking like a whole million chords to memorize, and you just end up seeing, oh, hang on, the verse is 8 bars that's repeated. And then it's exactly the same in the chorus. The whole thing, the modulation, they do it because it is the same 8 bars again. It's up a tone. It's all the same functional harmony. It's all moving in the same direction. It's just in the key of C here for the first half, and then for verse 3 and the choruses, it's going to be up into D. So that's the first thing I note. You can see the form, 16 bars, an 8-bar chorus, 16 bars, an 8-bar chorus, 16 bars, and then an 8-bar chorus, an 8-bar chorus, an 8-bar chorus. Depends how much your arrangement you're going for. That hopefully makes it seem like there's really only one bit of one set of chords to memorize. Sure, you've got to do it in 2 keys, but eight chords ain't too much. That's going to be a relief, and you can do that. You can do 8 bars, especially when the first, it's all the same chords, and the first 2 of each line are the same. You end up where you start. That should be quite helpful. Let's have a look at another way you can add to that understanding, and that is that if you understand how chords are built, you can see some additional things that are going to mean that when you do this in other keys or in other tunes, things start to be quite familiar to you. Here's the notes in the C major scale. Da 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 da. The way we make chords up and harmonies in Western music is by taking every second note of the chord of the scale and playing it together. So if you build a chord off the C note of the scale, it's going to have an E and a G. Then what you do is you take the second note, build it in the same sort of way. You end up with an F and an A. Then you take the third, you get E, G, and B. You get F, A, C. You get G, B, D. You get A, C, E, and B, D, F, C, E, G. Just keeps going. You can see these notes that are above the octave. that would just be D, E, F, G, A. You've just kept taking every second one. Turns out this is the same pattern in every major scale, because it's based on a major scale has the sound of the intervals: a tone, a tone, a semitone, a tone, a tone, a tone, and a semitone, which means that the types of chords that each of these yield in each key is the same. What do I mean by that? C, E, and G is a C major chord. D, F, and A is a D minor chord. E, G, and B is an E minor chord. F, A, C is an F chord. G, B, D is a G major. A, C, E is an A minor. B, D, F is a B diminished triad, and you're back to C, E, G, which is a C major chord. In every major key, your 1 is major, 2 is minor, 3 is minor, 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor, 7 is diminished, and you're back to 8, is the same as 1, major. The main 4 chords in just about every church song are the 1, the 4, the 5, and the 6. These will be major chord, major chord, major chord, and a minor chord. That's what's known as diatonic harmony, which means that that word means that it comes from the scale. So you can see the C major scale, and that's yielded these chords, and they have these qualities of major, 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 and minor. All the notes of the melody come from the C major scale, unless there's any sharps or flats been added in the key of C, and there isn't, so we can see that they've just used the major scale to produce the melodies and the harmonies. So it's helpful to be able to go back to our chart and make some notes. This is the 1, this is the 5, this is the 6 minor, this is the 4. 1, 5, 4, and 1. That's a great way to remember it. You would go through and you could make a chart using just the numbers. So what you would do is you would rewrite this. You could even just to simplify it as verse being 1, 5, 6 minor, 4, 1, 5, hope you can see that, 4, 1. That's a verse. It's the same as a chorus. It's just whether you've got an extra bar. So I think this makes it feel like it's pretty easy. 1, 5, 6 minor, 4, 1, 5, 4, 1. If you can remember that, and you know your C major scale, then you're right. In C you'll be thinking C, G, A minor, F. C, G, F, C. If you know your D major scale, that's going to work for the chorus as well, because we know that's the same chord progression. You could write that in. 1, 5, 6 minor, 4, 1, 5, 4, 1. Now you've just got to remember that you stick an A7 in if you're going up to D, and then you'd obviously need to know your D major scale and what those chords are. You might write down, so even something like this, if you're getting started, C equals 1 is a little table like this might even help you. 1, 4, 5, 6 minor, C, F, G, A minor, and in D it equals D, G, A, B minor. Hopefully that gives you some way to kind of break things down so it doesn't feel like this long list of things you've just got to remember in order. And this kind of chart feels like they just jumble it up so they can get it on one piece of paper. Whereas this strips it down to just the essentials of what's actually going on and is far easier to remember. You can test yourself by trying it in several different keys. Putting a capo on if you're a guitar player, that might force you to work out what these chords are in other keys. And you'll start to see these patterns turn up in pop songs, in church songs all the time. And once you've done half a dozen of them, 10 of them, starts to get really easier and easier. Hope that's been helpful, and give us a call and let's chat about what might be helpful next as a next step in learning tunes.